goalkeeper the wrong way.
At long last, I will now be able to give the rest of my life to the man I love and cherish the most.
I can't believe that you're about to become my wife.
A bad omen.
I trust you all know what to do.
What's going on, babe?
Go, run!
Christy!
I said get the boat going!
Christy!
We won't be able to save you.
Where is my daughter? Where is Christy?
Your wife is dead, Mr. Manansala.
Bro, just calm down, please.
How can I if we're talking about Christy?
Will you marry me? If you refuse to give in to our requests, we are going to kill all the hostages.
You're hiding something. You just don't take someone as your hostage for no good reason at all.
Stop hoping there's no one to go back to. Well, she tried to run, so I shot her. You will do as I say, because you're mine.
Christy is alive. Mom. Now that we're together again, Jordan, nothing will ever come between us.
We thought you were dead. No one ever expected you to come back, Christy.
I got so confused.
You chose to get married.
I thought you were dead.
Got married. That's why things got to this point.
My daughter.
No!
My daughter.
Hug me!
Tori?
Mommy!
You think they belong to you? Tori is my daughter, and Jordan is my husband.
I think you've forgotten that Jordan and I are married. Where's your wedding ring?
I won't let you steal my family away from me.
I will do everything in my power just to stop you from getting Jordan.
Do you think if I push him away, he'll go back to you? Oh, please. Just stop and accept that he doesn't love you, Shaira.
What did you expect? That I would just sit and do nothing? I'm gonna do everything to get your family!
My husband's wife.
The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Tracy Pa with the news. In this edition, foreign policy shift after 50 years, debate on fair distribution, and WASH project transforms rural school. For close to 50 years, PNG's foreign policy had been guided by the principle of friends to all, enemies to none. This has now been replaced with a new foreign policy themed strategic partnerships for security and economic prosperity. This new policy will guide PNG's international relations, security and economic engagement into the future. While the principle of friends to all, enemies to none has served the country well, Foreign Affairs Minister Justin Tachenko says the world has become increasingly complex with geopolitics dynamics shifting, global challenges evolving, and international cooperation has become more important than ever before. And to reflect these challenges and changes, a new foreign policy white paper was launched yesterday afternoon under the theme Strategic Partnerships for Security and Economic Prosperity.
Our new theme, Strategic Partnerships for Security and Economic Prosperity, reaffirms our intent We are building meaningful partnerships that directly contribute to our nation's development and regional security.
For the Department of Foreign Affairs, this white paper will serve as a strategic guide for action. It outlines how the department will strengthen PNG's diplomatic engagement, among others. But Minister Techenko says this cannot be achieved without the support of other government agencies whose work intersects with international engagement. Prime Minister James Marape, when launching the policy, also reminded the country that PNG should not divorce from the friends to all, enemies to none principle, instead should remain central to the framework.
So friends to all, enemies to none in 1975 was relevant as a young nation was battered into family of nations. And it depicts our culture, it depicts our characteristics, also embracing the Christian values that we were introduced into and that has been part of our DNA up till today. And I want to, right from the start, echo my affirmation that there should be no foreign policy as we work upon this one that should be divorced from the DNA of friends to all, enemies to none going forward. That is universal, that is foundational, that is and must be a core character going forward. But
Prime Minister Marape also acknowledged fast-evolving global environment and the need for PNG to remain proactive and strategic.
As time moves on in our 50th year, we stand at the cusp of many confluence of technology that influences decision-making, confluence of economy that is a rational of leadership making choices, and also confluence of many different worldviews, the dogma of leaders, the dogma of nations that influences leadership at the top to make decisions. Going forward into the future, it is wise that our generation promulgate a relevant at this juncture, a relevant updated foreign policy paper that embraces our past and anchors it at this juncture of our nation's history, but also secures our future in what we construct. And so I want to say this is timely, it is strategic, it talks about security, it talks about economic prosperity, it talks about our relationship with its nations that we relate to. And I want to again step back and say thank you to all nations who've been friends of PNG the last 50 years.
Meantime, the event hosted by the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Justin Techenko, brought together ambassadors, high commissioners, international partners, and senior government officials. Ruth Rungala, TVWAN News.
Lack of effective law enforcement in Papua New Guinea is a key factor that led to the country being grey-listed by the Financial Action Task Force. Acting Public Prosecutor Ellen Roa-Lakona said this during a presentation to MBA students at the Divine Word University's Port Moresby campus Tuesday. Ellen delivered a comprehensive presentation outlining the reasons behind PNG's grey listing, the measures currently being implemented by the government and relevant institutions, and the progress being made to improve the country's compliance in order to be removed from the grey list.
Papua New Guinea was grey-listed on February 13, 2026 by the Financial Action Task Force due to strategic deficiencies in anti-money laundering and counter-terrorist financing frameworks. Acting Public Prosecutor Helen Roa-Lakona delivered a comprehensive presentation yesterday in front of MBA students at Divine Word University's campus in Port Moresby, outlining the reasons behind PNG's grey listing, the measures currently being implemented by the government and relevant institutions, and the progress being made to improve the country's compliance in order to be removed from the FATF grey list. She noted that weak law enforcement over the past decade has contributed significantly to PNG's current status, placing the country under increased scrutiny in its financial and business dealings.
Essentially, we are grey-listed because we're not effective. We have the laws, but we have not effectively implemented the laws. That is the reason why we have been grey-listed. Prosecutions carry a lot of weight. If we don't secure convictions and we don't prosecute individuals, that is how we've ended up where we are.
Counsel Helen Roala Kona is a prominent Papua New Guinean lawyer and team leader who was appointed acting public prosecutor in May 2025. With Papua New Guinea now under close monitoring by the global financial watchdog, Ms. Roala Kona stressed that relevant authorities must work collaboratively to ensure the country is removed from the FATF grey list.
To establish ARROW, because Commissioner of Police was ready to talk and Director FASU was ready to talk, and I was ready to talk because I needed to save my head. I'm kidding. But yeah, so ARROW really is this interagency working group where we've got 2 officers from FASU, 2 officers from RTNGC, and 2 officers from the OPP. They are addressing the non-conviction based stream under the Proceeds of Crime Act. And so what they do is FASU gives intelligence, RTNGC investigators go and investigate that intelligence because we need to have evidence in court before we apply for a restraining order.
10.3 million kina was set aside to carry out the work to ensure PNG is off of the grey list in 2 years. Michael Tamtipais, TV1 News.
A battle of words in Parliament today between former Prime Minister Peter O'Neill and Prime Minister James Marape over the 4.27% cotton equity belonging to landowners of the PNG LNG and the 5 provincial governments since the first shipment of LNG on May 25, 2014. The debate included transparency in management and how effectively the benefits are being shared at the community level.
Today's parliamentary exchange between former Prime Minister Peter O'Neill and current Prime Minister James Marape over the 4.27% cotton equity highlights ongoing tensions surrounding resource governance and local benefits in Papua New Guinea. This equity represents a significant interest for landowners and provincial governments involved in the PNG LNG project, a major economic driver of Papua New Guinea since it began operations. The debate centered on issues of equity distributions, transparency in management, and how effectively the benefits of such large-scale resource extraction projects are shared with local communities. The heated exchange began when Member for Como Ulia Daniel Tindipu questioned Prime Minister James Marape on the delay of transfers of the 4.27% cotton equity to the landowners.
One amended by managing this law, cotton 4.27% equity. Question number 3. Once that cotton 4.27% equity is made available, milagi mo sabi provincial government na landowners must be separated. Ino putting ko in jail one basket tasol na hali politicized no ka.
The Prime Minister responded by putting blame on Yalibu Pangia MP and former Prime Minister Peter O'Neill for withholding the benefit sharing for the landowners.
2014, the 5 provinces and the landowners would have been given the right to exercise purchase. Unfortunately, the UBS transaction that saw PNG government then acquired 10.01% share in oil sets, took precedent. So the then government used that 4.27% stake to then acquire 10.01 or 10.1% stake in oil sets.
The minister is misleading Parliament. He should know very well that this paper came into cabinet. The only thing that guaranteed the loan from UBS for the shares and oil sets were the shares itself. Not the 4%, not any shareholding in Kumul Petroleum Holdings. And he is misleading Parliament. If he's got evidence, he should table it.
O'Neill's response focused on past commitments and the handling of equity matters during his administration, while Marape's response involved defending current policies and advancements made under his leadership regarding landowner rights and provincial affairs.
under his watch, the beneficiaries of this number one asset of our country that has paid more than 33 billion kina to our country since 2014. The landowners and the 5 provincial government have not been given the right to exercise purchase because the parcel, 4.27%, was parcel against the UBS transaction.
If he's got evidence, he should table it. He's just lying, Mr. Speaker. He knows very well that the landowners could not afford the price that they were given to pay for those shareholders. And our government discounted it to make it affordable for them. And yet still they could not raise the money. He should not be lying to this parliament, Mr. Speaker. He knows very well what has happened. You should just transfer the shares. You should just transfer the shares to them as they are asking.
Honourable Member.
And he reduced it down to zeros for nothing. He was going to give it to them. Why can't you just transfer it and stop arguing and lying to the nation?
The 4.27% Croton equity is a gift by the then Somare-led government to the impacted provincial governments and landowners of the PNG LNG project. Freddie Moe, TV1 News.
Treasurer Ian Ling-Stuckey has reaffirmed the government's stance in dealing with the recent surge of fuel prices due to the conflict in the Middle East between Iran, USA, and Israel. Ling-Stuckey said the government will be using the same strategy during the COVID-19 and the Ukraine-Russia war to address the surge in fuel prices.
Treasurer Ian Ling-Stuckey has confirmed in Parliament today that PNG will be affected with the current conflict in the Middle East. Deputy Leader of Opposition and Member for Iri Koyari Kit Iduhu had asked what strategies the government is taking to address the surge and impact of fuel prices in the country as predicted by the Independent Consumer and Competition Commission.
Mr. Speaker, can the Treasurer inform this Honourable House specifically what immediate concrete interventions the government is implementing beyond monitoring and assuring a comprehensive package to alleviate the financial pressure on Papua New Guineans caused by global fuel prices that will spike general volatility? The real effect of that is that the transportation of goods and services of food from Lae Port into the highlands is going to be hit on the shelves, being passed over to the consumer.
The Treasurer explained that the government will be using the strategy used during COVID-19 and the Russia-Ukraine war.
We will be affected by this war, and we do have people stranded in the Middle East. We're working to bring them home. But once again, global uncertainties are shaking our country, and once again, the steady hand of the Marape Rossa government will ensure that we will overcome all of these crises. And we will be responding in the same responsible manner that we did when we dealt with the crises of COVID, the Ukraine-Russia war, the Gaza war, and now this wider conflict in the Middle East.
The government's previous measures during crisis included subsidies, price controls, financial assistance programs aimed at cushioning the blow of rising fuel costs on households and businesses. The Treasurer said it's a commitment to ensuring that citizens manage through tough economic times without overwhelming financial strain.
There were no fuel price increases on that day. And that was because the 8th of March decision was based entirely on February prices before the war began. And as he correctly mentioned, the next ICCC determination will be on the 8th of April, and this will be the first time we may see the impact of the war on fuel prices. We'll closely monitor those prices and take whatever necessary actions that needs to be made.
Freddie Moe, TV1 News.
Citizens should expect a major shift in how transport is regulated in the country. This involves improving road safety by removing unroadworthy and unregistered vehicles, as well as holding authorized inspection stations accountable for issuing roadworthiness stickers to unroadworthy vehicles.
The first of 4 regional land transport policy consultations was held today at the Leh International Hotel. Speaking on behalf of the board of the Road Traffic Authority, Jane Kenny said while Leh is the gateway of trade, the corridor of freight movement and the engine of economic activity for the Momase region and the nation, it faces pressing challenges. Every day, residents see heavy vehicle traffic placing pressure on roads, increasing road safety risks, informal and unregulated transport operations, moving unworthy road vehicles for use as PMVs in Leh City or to the nation's capital, and the growing demands on enforcement systems. Therefore, the proposed policy is about fixing real problems that affect businesses, drivers, families, and communities. Road Traffic Authority's Acting Chief Executive Officer John Avira said the one-day consultation intends to gauge views from stakeholders before consolidating the policy document to present to the board for approval.
So basically, this policy is intended to guide any amendments that we foresee in the legislation and in the law that is currently in place.
We currently have the RTA Act 2014. What prompted the need to conduct a consultation to come up with a policy?
Well, as like everything else, time change, business change. So we see there's some gaps in the legislation, but I don't want to go too far as in yet. But the intention is to look at some of the areas of the provisioning of the law. So we can, by intervention by this policy, make amendment, because it is a requirement. To amend the law, we must have a policy that guides the amendment of the various laws.
Stakeholders at the consultation raised a number of concerns, including the issuing of roadworthiness stickers to especially PMVs that are not roadworthy, the lack of enforcement of traffic rules, the complicated vehicle registration process in Morobe province that needs to be integrated, and the need for all enforcement agencies to work together to improve road safety in the province. Avira said the next consultation will be held in Kokopo for the New Guinea Islands region, then Mantagan for the Highlands region, and finally Port Moresby for Southern region, before finalizing everything for submission. Ruth Rongola, TV1 News.
The Catholic Bishops' Conference in Port Moresby hosted the first media education seminar of 2026 on Saturday, bringing together more than 50 students and teacher animators from 8 Catholic institutions. The seminar was centered on the theme, Voices and Faces in an AI Age.
The first media education seminar of 2026 was themed Voices and Faces in an AI Age. It was led by Father Ambrose Pereira and a team of volunteer facilitators. The theme, Voices and Faces in an AI Age, was drawn from the 2026 World Communications Day message. Father Ambrose highlighted the importance of human dignity in the digital era, calling for responsible and ethical engagement with artificial intelligence. Facilitator Petronia Komboanga led a session on logo design, explaining how color, topography, imagery, and taglines come together to build a strong and recognizable identity. Srael Isayamo took students through the essentials of crafting a message-driven poster, reminding them that a picture, slogan, copy, and logo must all work together to communicate a clear purpose. In the topography session, Leo Paraha introduced the exposure triangle, aperture, ISO, and shutter speed, along with elements such as color, texture, and space. He emphasized the 3 S's of good photography: safety, steadiness, and spotlessness. Students described the seminar as inspiring and insightful, saying the activities help them better understand the power of storytelling in visual media. Messages such as authenticity beyond the lens and use AI and don't let AI use you reflect the growing awareness of identity and responsibility in the digital age. The media education seminar will continue next month with a focus on print media. Joanna Pile, TVWAN News.
You're watching TVWAN News. Respecting consumer rights and Eliseo Hohola opens. We'll have those stories and more when we come back.
For too long, banking has felt out of reach for many. But now, BSP's One-Took Wallet is here to change that. Send and receive money, pay bills, and top up. It's your money, wherever, whenever. Because at BSP, we are committed to improving how our customers connect to our One-Talks, to our family, to the ones we love. BSP's One-Took Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# for everyone.
When you're all in, anything can happen. Grab a Coca-Cola and enjoy the moment.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG é minha! Prime PNG made.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE.
Show the dishes who's boss. Fight mess with Axion, the tough grease stripper. 100% effective at doing the dirty work. The triple active power breaks down tough grease, and its antibacterial formula leaves dishes squeaky clean. Get tough on grease. Get Axion.
Welcome back. Safe products, confident consumers is the theme for this year's World Consumer Rights Day. Officers from the Independent Consumer and Competition Commission's regional office in Leh traveled to Madang to commemorate this day. The World Consumer Rights Day falls on the 15th of March each year. This year, activities for the day were moved to the 17th, a weekday. The visit includes public awareness and trade measurement inspections this week. Officers from the Independent Consumer and Competition Commission's regional office in Leh will be carrying out trade measurement inspections for the rest of this week in Madang province. They also carried out public awareness relating accessing quality services. Their visit to Madang is part of activities around World Consumer Rights Day, marked each year on the 15th of March. This year's theme is Safe Products, Confident Consumers.
ICCC Momase Regional Manager Pamela Mpambonji said the general public were receptive. They even reported some issues to the visiting ICCC team. During the awareness, the officers elaborated on product prices for goods like rice, flour and sugar, and more recently fuel prices and taxi and PMV fares. They clarified that they work in collaboration with other government agencies who deal directly with price range and rates, such as the Bank of Papua New Guinea. Academic students from Ramu Valley Academy and their academic teacher Jonathan Toposona attended the awareness session to learn more about the functions of the ICCC. Mr. Toposona said the visit was timely because current lessons are on government interventions in price mechanisms.
ICCC officers, if they can further explain on the subject that we are covering with the students. We actually have covered this week the topic of government intervention in price mechanisms and looking at different ways how government intervene in controlling prices, setting maximum prices, setting minimum prices, and setting price flows and price support. That made us to come to town all the way from North Coast to seek information just to help the students learning.
Mr. Toposona was pleased that his students got to ask many in-depth questions and receive significant feedback.
I think the feedback that was that received from this officer was really helpful, and I see their reactions, like they were really excited, they want to learn more, and there are some things that also, like I didn't mention in class, he was able to mention here, and I think that will really help the students understand more in the role of and functions of ICCC in PNG.
According to ICCC, consumers worldwide continue to face unsafe, counterfeit or poor quality products, from children's toys and households electronics to medicines and everyday goods. These failures result in loss of life, health harm, eroded trust, injury, financial loss, and environmental damages. World Consumer Rights Day is a chance to demand that the rights of all consumers are respected and protected, and to protect against market abuses and social injustice which undermine those rights. After more than 50 years, students of rural Kuru Primary School in South Bougainville are experiencing a life-changing support through the WASH initiative by World Vision and funded by the European Union. Staff and students struggled with unsafe water and poor sanitation for decades. As of Tuesday, March 17th, they celebrated clean drinking water, proper toilets, and a shower room.
Before the implementation of the WASH initiative at rural Kuro Primary School in South Bougainville, the children would spend more time going back and forth to fetch water from a nearby creek. For young girls, the challenge is greater than when they have to maintain hygiene during their menstrual cycle. Often, they would school when it was the time of the month. School head teacher Adrian Moro said it's a relief seeing children visit the ablution blocks with ease, knowing they can maintain their hygiene and have clean water to drink. 230 students from grades 3 to 8 and 6 teachers have access to 2 ablution blocks with shower blocks. There are restrooms for female, males, and people with a disability. Moro said the impact on female students has been especially noticeable. The UE-funded WASH project was implemented by World Vision. The project began in 2024 and was launched in 2025. According to World Vision's PNG statistics, men, women, and children in PNG continue to die from treatable and preventable diseases. The life expectancy is still very low compared to other nations, and therefore, access to clean water, sanitation, and hygiene is crucial in rural areas across the country. Michael Tamtipais, TV1 News.
The Namatanai District Development Authority presented its 2025 acquittals to the Department of Implementation and Rural Development yesterday in Port Moresby. DDA Chairman Walter Snowbelt when echoed the challenge the district has faced, including the delay in receiving district services improvement program funds from the government.
Member for Namatanai Walter Snowbelt presented 2025 acquittals to the Department of Implementation and Rural Development on Tuesday. He pointed out that the major challenge with local governance and implementing development initiatives was the delay in receiving District Services Improvement Program funds. Nonetheless, Snowbelt says they managed to implement some projects and demonstrating resilience and determination in the face of adversity.
We do have some financial constraints in rolling out our DSIP in the Namatanai district. The district have faced some challenges financially, and those constraints have greatly affected the District Service Improvement Program, and they are as follows. Untimely disbursement of the DSIP funds annually. When we don't receive those funds regularly, it impacts on the type of delivery that we can actually attend to on the ground. Shortfall in annual allocation. So not only just the delay, but if we don't get the full allocation for that year, also creates some enormous challenges for us down on the ground.
Snowbelt recommended that it would be essential for the DDA to continue advocating for timely and sufficient funding to ensure that planned projects are executed efficiently. Additionally, he said addressing these funding delays with the government could involve proposing strategies for better financial management or exploring alternative funding sources to sustain development efforts in the district.
In order for the smooth running of the SIP program, social issues in the district must be taken seriously since we are directly dealing with the people. Under the DSIP in the Namatanai district, the Namatanai District Development Authority have taken on board several social programs in the various sector of the SIP program.
DIRD Secretary Ahi Waki commended the DDA for not letting financial delays hamper project implementation in the district.
In totality, it develops the province and the country in general, so that PNG is progressing in terms of PSIP, DSIP contributions to other PIP fundings and donor agencies fundings. So that's
Freddie Moe, TVWAN News.
The Eliseo Group of Companies opened its Eliseo Hola Premium Shopping Complex yesterday in the nation's capital. The shop is now accessible to Port Moresby residents. The high-standard Eliseo Shopping Complex at Hohola in the nation's capital has opened its doors to residents this morning following its official opening yesterday evening. Prime Minister James Marape thanked the Eliseo Group for having confidence in PNG's economy and called for more investment through the building of more shopping complexes. He said the government stands ready to support them, including other investors.
So we will go down in the early 2000s. We never go down. We are still here and we are growing day by day, month by month, year by year. We will grow up. Eliseo, and I call for more investors like Eliseo. Have faith in our country, invest, and you will grow with the country going forward.
And City Governor Paul Spakop said the opening signifies not only the growth of the company through capital investment, but also open doors for services and job opportunities for many Papua New Guineans.
Eliseo and also for our capital city, Port Moresby.
He said the opening contributes to national outcomes and achieves the government's aspiration to invest and contribute to PNG's economy.
We are with the city for massive investment, reaching out to our people, bringing service, quality shopping, and everything that goes with it to our people all over the city. This is a big investment. It shows that Eliseo, you have a great dream and vision for your own company, and here to partner the city, here to make it happen, also supporting our national government for national outcome.
Eliseo Group CEO Zovin Yan said the leadership, guardians and support from the PNG government, Eliseo suppliers, stakeholders and other business partners have helped the growth of the company. The opening of this investment is a testament to that support.
NSO has helped us turning ideas into reality. To our business partners and fellow entrepreneurs, thank you for working with us to build stronger industries and stronger communities. To our suppliers, thank you for providing reliable products and standing with us through the years. And most importantly, I'd like to thank our LECO team.
Yan said the company plans to open more shopping centers in Port Moresby and other provinces in the future.
LECO has a clever vision for the future. In the next 5 years, we plan to open at least 14 supermarkets across Port Moresby.
LECO was established in 1995, entered a new stage of development in 2014, and has grown to now having subsidiary companies, 9 branches, employs over 1,000 nationals, and engages over 100 suppliers, most of which are national suppliers who supply vegetables, especially in the Highlands region.
The Kina closed lower at $0.2320 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our Kina was buying $0.2245 US, $0.3122 Australian dollars, $0.1865 euro, and 35.43 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, all closed lower except coffee closed higher and palm oil closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. TV1 News continues when we come back. Stay with us.
Banking doesn't have to be complicated. With PSP's OneTalk Wallet, control your money wherever, whenever. Dial *131#, enter your PIN, select cash in or out, and generate a secure code to withdraw cash. It's the only wallet for cardless ATM withdrawals. Send and receive funds, pay for goods and bills, or withdraw cash with ease. All with PSP's OneTalk Wallet. PSP's OneTalk Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# today.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE.
Start your day by doing the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate. Wake up. Brush your teeth. And smile. Smile throughout your day with Colgate.
You sabi to awesome condom and one way where you can abrusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancy. Tingim, use him condom long right way. Stop safe na look out him you yet. Use him condom all get a time. Suppose you no sabi long HIV status long partner blog you or suppose you got plenty partner. Use him condom good all get a time. Long haborusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancies. Use him condom banisim you yet na future blog you. This platok sabi ikam long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
Boy, semakin bapak si Arya.
Anti, bangka goksim. David Loran. You think you passed it? Sparks, it's in me.
Your 2025 NRL premiers, the Brisbane Broncos.
Oh, the arrow with a massive shot. It's high. Here's right foot step. Jerome Hughes with an incredible individual. And Walsh comes round
Thanks for staying with us. In regional news, the flow-on effects of the war in Iran is continuing to reverberate in WA, with the government admitting it is concerned about potential impacts, including to the construction and mining industries. One mine is already scaling back operations as a result of fuel cost, with the opposition warning food prices could jump if farmers don't get the diesel they need.
Reason to celebrate.
1, 2, 3.
At a worrying time.
I need to be frank, it does worry me about the impact of the war in Iran.
Government welcoming the start of construction for 213 social and affordable housing units next to Fiona Stanley Hospital in Murdoch.
And also right on the doorstep of a train station. This is the future of Perth. We want to see more of this.
But rising fuel prices and interest rates could get in the way, given many medium and high-density projects are already struggling to stack up financially.
I'm particularly concerned with the way that the increases in fuel costs will impact Western Australian households. That's why we're continuing to make sure, firstly, that we get the fuel to people who need it.
One small mining business says it's looking at having to stand down 120 workers in coming days.
We'll be dialing down our production until we can get some surety around what that fuel supply looks like.
That uncertainty is a result of fuel suppliers and big businesses taking all of the fuel available under their contracts, leaving little for the spot market, which independent operators rely on.
That's the frustration a lot of regional participants and businesses are facing, is that it seems that they're taking the majority of the pain and some other sectors of the various industries are not.
Farmers are also struggling, with some seeding and others harvesting.
If they can't get that produce to market, then there will be food scarcity issues in Perth, and with scarcity we see rocketing prices.
Energy Minister Amber Jade Sanderson says the targeted relief of fuel reserves by the Commonwealth should help.
We stand ready to get that fuel onto the trucks and get it out to those independent operators, particularly in the goldfields.
The sooner we get those volumes out into the market, that'll obviously help to ensure that those sorts of operations can continue to operate.
It's hoped that extra fuel will hit the road sometime this week.
Just as the weather began clearing, Central Australia has once again been hit by heavy rain overnight, sending water back into Alice Springs and across parts of the Samson district.
Through the Todd River, cutting the town in two. Causeways closed, cars stranded.
There's cars they want to get through. Even me, I want to get through as well. I have to leave my car over there.
A familiar sight for an already soaking town.
I didn't expect to see this, especially when it's already flooded previously, and then get up this morning and it's flooding like this again.
Police say around 70 millimetres fell in just a few hours. Once again, they're warning people to avoid floodwaters after 2 people were rescued this morning attempting to cross. For others, the danger is clear.
That's the main thing when it floods like this, it's for everyone to be safe as well, because it is dangerous when it's like a heavy current and hard current.
While the weather is easing, the advice remains the same. Stay alert and stay out of floodwaters.
Members of the remote First Nations communities of Nauru have spent more than a month this year as evacuees 220 kilometers away in Darwin. With their homes still submerged, it is going to be some time before they will be able to return home.
Unfolding at home.
A lot of people lost their home, belongings, what they work for. Many to keep calm, be together.
For the second time in as many months, Daly River residents receiving no warning of the massive flood that was about to hit, and then given just minutes to flee.
It just snuck up on us. No one was prepared for it. There was no warning. And that's the frightening thing. There was nothing in place. So it was all a rush.
For decades, there's been conversations around moving the natural disaster-prone community to higher ground. The sheer magnitude of this flood has become a catalyst, renewing calls to get that done or to build an evacuation centre closer to home.
Instead of waiting for it to be on top of us, there needs to be some sort of thing in place that, alarm goes off, warnings or something prior.
Move the whole town, take it away somewhere else, on the higher ground. Keep us safe from coming here.
The experience in Darwin adding to the trauma.
The bloke turned up with his 2 samurai sword. People were scared in that building. People was running out the back door, and they can call you anything. They could be driving past and just, saying something at you. It happened.
Police say it won't be tolerated.
It's never acceptable for people to be exposed to racist, derogatory, intimidating, threatening behaviour. It never is.
Hoping to get home as soon as they can.
It is the stage show that took the world by storm. The platform of the opera set a new standard in the world of musicals in the late 80s. As part of a global program to mark its 40th anniversary, a new cast issue has
1990 years and 15 productions. Guy Simpson has seen it all.
It's irresistible to come back. I don't do this all the time. I've done many productions overseas and here, and it's just a show that has become a huge part of my life.
He's now leading the cast through a show on a floating stage 4 times larger than what many are familiar with.
In the beginning, it felt like you were kind of running a 400-metre track event around the edge of the stage.
I'm under the stage with a screen of the conductor for the cast, and so communication is difficult, but we build that up over the next couple of weeks as we rehearse on site.
But before those on-site rehearsals, there have been dozens of dry runs. Up until this point, the singers and the orchestra have been practicing their parts separately. But in this rehearsal, known as the Sitzprobe, they're running through the whole show together for the first time.
It's an epic sound in the room. It's a very emotional day. Back in the 90s, we had no idea that it was going to become this. For us, it was just...
And that ends the news segment. Sports is next. Stay tuned.
Hi, with the help of Palmolive Naturals shampoo and conditioner, with these 3 quick and easy tips, I'm going to show you that more natural, beautiful hair is achievable. Step 1, massage your scalp during washing with shampoo. Step 2, apply conditioner to the tips of your hair. Step 3, gently towel dry your hair. There you have it. For natural, beautiful hair, use Palmolive Naturals shampoo and conditioner. Have a great hair day.
You sabi to awesome condom and one way where you can abuse him sick HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancy. Ting him, use him condom long right way. Stop safe na look out him you yet. Use him condom all get a time. Suppose you no save long HIV status long partner blog you, or suppose you got plenty partner. Use him condom good all get a time. Long haborus him sick HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancies. Use him condom banis him you yet na future blog you. This platok save ikam long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
Hoy, bakit ba pa si Arya?
Auntie, bangka goksim. David Loran. You think you passed it? Spots.
It's in me.
Central Province is our home.
The tides of the Coral Sea are our heartbeat. From the coast to the mountains.
Traditions pass generation to generation.
The sea and our gardens sustain us.
Our songs carry our legends through time.
Our home is Central Province. Our nation is Papua New Guinea.
ready for the world. So is your TISA Visa card. Visa keeps you moving wherever you go, Papua New Guinea or abroad. Seamlessly pay for travel, dining, online shopping. Easily access your funds and instantly track your expenses. Every tap comes with security, trust, and peace of mind. Unlock the world of possibilities. And it all starts with the new TISA Visa card.
In the Pacific, sport is a lot more than just a game.
It's about mana, the spiritual power within us all.
Le Malosianga, from our people, our strength, and the heart of the Pacific.
It's driven by custom, our connection to culture, and bringing people together.
And Matavuvale, where every player stands tall for themselves and their community.
And it's about sharing those incredible stories.
Join us every week
for all the sport in action from across the Pacific.
Your Pacific sporting journey starts here.
Welcome back to the 2026 Host Plus Cup season. Footy is back, ladies and gentlemen. Sunday afternoon football.
Long, they've got numbers that they will score.
He takes it coast to coast to the house. It's a try, and it's Oliver Bickle, I think it is.
And Graham Rex goes over.
Breaks it, and it's never on. It goes. Oh, this one back.
Welcome back. The first Pillai Long Sanis programs in line with AFL PNG's Smart Start New Kick Gala Day and Under-17's Come and Try was hosted at the Murray Barracks Oval last Saturday. The session focused on awareness around gender equality, respect and inclusion. Pillai Long Sanis is proudly supported by Team Up and Papua New Guinea Tribal Foundation. The day also involved kids from 5 to 10 years, accompanied by parents and guardians, engaged in fun games with AFL ball games. AFL PNG Program Coordinator Zil Ravusiro and staff were there to coordinate the event. Zil encouraged more parents to bring their kids along and learn about the basics of New Kick AFL, which is a modified version that's safer and fun for kids. 2 weeks into the 2026 NRL season, and some teams are starting to emerge. So this is the perfect time to separate fact from fiction. After back-to-back losses, the Broncos are looking like they might struggle to make the top 4. Meanwhile, the grand final matchup is looking clear by the day.
Round 2 is underway.
The reigning premiers have shocked the competition, starting their 2026 season 0-2 games. Despite maintaining the bulk of their 2025 roster, the Brisbane Broncos appear to be lacking their drive from last season.
What a start!
Brisbane led in 66 points across the first 2 weeks of the season, including a 26-0 thrashing from the Panthers and a 40-32 loss to the Eels, after they were leading 20-6. The Broncos relied heavily on their attack but struggled on the left side and in defense, with both Ezra Mam and Reece Walsh showing lapses in concentration. The side is not helped by an injury concerned to halfback Adam Reynolds, who starts and go to play in this weekend's grand final rematch against the Storm after suffering rib cartilage damage in this game. The Storm have been impressive in scoring wins over the Hills and Dragons, but the Broncos should be focused on tough to beat on Friday night. The Broncos won the competition last year and that hangover is extended to round 3. They have looked relatively terrible in losing to the Panthers and Eels, but after slacking off last week, they should have got a stand talking to from the coach. That should be enough to see them improve and cover the spread against the Storm. They won the grand final against the Storm in October, which should give them enough confidence to repeat that effort. A close game is expected. Michael Tamtipais, TVWAN Sports.
Thursday night action will kick off with round 1 winners. The Canterbury Bulldogs will travel to Canberra to take on a Riders side, looking to bounce back following a disappointing showing in New Zealand.
After stealing a golden point win with an Ethan Sanders field goal in the opening game, Ricky Stewart's men were thoroughly outplayed 40-6 by an undermanned New Zealand Warriors outfit. At home for the first time this weekend, the Canberra Raiders will be hoping to show their fans more of the steel that saw them claim the minor premiership last year. Fresh off the bye following their great escape in Las Vegas against the St. George Illawarra Dragons, the Canterbury Bulldogs will be hoping to set a positive tone early in the match and learn from their lapses in round 1. In that game, skipper Stephen Crichton stood up with a golden point field goal to get the team off to a winning start. But against a fire-up Raiders, and Dogs will need to be on their game throughout. Raiders representative prop Josh Papali returns after being sidelined with concussion and will slot straight in to start in the front row. Morgan Smithis moves to the interchange bench while Matthew Timoko falls down to 19th player. Bulldogs Enari Tuala comes in for his first appearance for 2026, slotting in at center with Bronson Harry omitted. Tuala's elevation to the starting side brings in off-season recruit Sin O'Suvilan to the extended bench as the 19th player. No other changes from the side that got the job done in a close contest against the Dragons in Las Vegas. Michael Tamtipais, TVWAN Sports.
And that ends the sports segment, and now the weather. Southern, Port Moresby, cloudy periods with some rain showers. Daru, cloudy with rain showers and thunderstorms. Momase, Ley, few showers, cloudy at times tonight. Wewak and Vanimo, cloudy with showers at times. New Guinea Islands, Kokopo, Rabaul and Buka, cloudy with rain showers at times. Kimbe, cloudy periods, some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. And Highlands region, Mount Agan, Mendi, Tari and Wabek, partly cloudy at times with some rain and rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Ocean forecast for PNG areas for the next 24 hours. Coral Sea sees moderate to very rough along warning areas with southeast to northeast winds of 15 to 25 knots, reaching 30 to 45 knots along warning areas. Solomon Sea sees light to moderate becoming rough near warning areas with northeast winds of 10 to 20 knots, reaching 25 to 33 knots. Bismarck Sea sees moderate to rough with northeast winds of 15 to 20 knots, increasing to 25 to 33 knots to the eastern sector. And coastal waters forecast. Waters of Samarai Island to Cape Vogel and all Milne Bay Islands. Seas 1.5 to 2.5 meters, rising to 3 to 4 meters at times along Samarai Island to Rassal Islands. Waters of Finchafen through Vitia Strait to CSC, Long Island to Medang. Seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters, rising to 1.5 to 2 meters at times along the Vitia Strait. And waters of Manus and its western group of islands, seas 1.5 to 2 meters, rising to 2.5 to 3 meters at times. And that ends another edition of TV1 News. Pleasant viewing. Good night.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by